All right, here we go, back at it again. This time we're going to be doing our eye dissection overview. So let's go ahead and jump right into the main structures of the sheep eye we have here. So first we're going to talk about the sclera, which is this outer tough white part here. And that helps protect the inner parts of the eye and keeps the shape of the eye. So going out to the front of the eye here, we're going to open up the front of the eye here. Coming out of the front, we have the cornea, and that's that transparent lens right here. In this specimen, it is cloudy. It's because it's preserved. But in a real person, that'll be clear and keeping the eye through. So then if you look, there's a hole in here. This is called the pupil, and that's where light enters in. So it enters in you have the pupil here, which is that outer layer. And then there's a hole in the middle, and that's what is called the iris. And that acts kind of like a diaphragm, controlling how much light comes in. And then if we look here, I have it behind me here. So coming in behind the pupil is the lens right here. And that is it's a little transparent structure, and it helps focus the light into the back of the eye. It's held in place by little ligaments that stretch and relax to help the focus. So filling in the parts between those two is what's called, in the cornea and the lens, it's called the aqueous humor. It's a clear fluid. I have some of that right here. And it helps maintain the shape of the eyeball. And then if we look here, this large cavity inside of the lens, or behind the lens, is called the vitreous body. And that is filled with vitreous humor. It's a thicker fluid, and it helps maintain the eye's shape. And then if you look in the back here, you can see the hyaloid fossa here, the indentation that supports the lens. Kind of at a bad focus here, but we'll move on here to the back of the eye. So this is the back of the eye here. In here we have the retina, which I think I'll hold up here. So we have the retina here coming into the back of the eye, which is a light sensitive layer. It contains rods for directing light intensity, as well as cones for perceiving color. Where all the nerves and fiber come in back here, they exit through what's called the optic nerve here in the back. And where that occurs is called the blind spot, because there is no receptor cells back there. And so between the retina and the sclera, is the choroid, a dark, thin layer here that contains blood vessels and nourishes the eye. In animals, you might notice there's something called the tapetum lucidum, and in that layer, it helps with night vision by reflecting light back onto the retina. So, in summary here, we have the cornea, the lens, and fluids focus light. The iris and the pupil control intake. The retina receives the light and converts it into signals that get put out through the optic nerve to the brain to signal vision. And then we have the sclera and the fluids that help maintain the shape of the eye and protect its inner parts. And while the choroid nourishes the eye, and that's quick overview here we have of our sheep eye practical. It was cool dissecting it, a little difficult with the cold, as you can see I'm in the garage. But yeah, it was really cool. Learned a lot.